courtside from Chicago and Wrigley Field. It's game 2 of the 3-game series between the Pittsburgh Pirates and the club with the best record in baseball. The National League Central Division leading Chicago Cubs, who beat the Pirates in a marathon game last night. We check out the Volkswagen National League standings, in particular the wild card. Yeah, the Pirates lost a game to the Redbirds, but they still trail that second wild card spot by just a game and a half. Greg Brown along with John Wehner and Robbie Ince-Mikowski. Again, a great game last night. The Pirates were behind, John. They came back. The home run by Josh Bell got them on the board against Jake Arrieta. And then Gregory Polanco goes deep again, a 3-run homer. You look at this road trip, he has had 3 huge hits for the Pirates, and he continues to drive in runs.
The big man, I tell you what, I don't know if I saw him being a cleanup hitter this soon in his career, but he's certainly owning up to that position in the lineup, and he has just come up with big hit after big hit. He's covering all quadrants of the plate, in, out, up, and down, hitting one of the best pitchers in all of baseball. Arrieta, fastball up, out over the plate, the other way for a 3-run homer. There's nothing this guy can't do lately. He's been unbelievable.
The Pirates, of course, used a lot of pitchers again last night. They had to bring one up from the minor leagues, Kelvin Marte. A couple of moves that were made about an hour ago. Marte up from AAA Indianapolis. They had to place Kyle Lobstein, designate him for assignment to make the roster spot, and to bring up Alan Hansen, a position player. The Pirates, a paper move, option Jameson Taillon down to Bristol. And that will just be a couple days worth. We'll see Jameson Taillon over the weekend against the Brewers. We'll also see the major league leader in ERA, Kyle Hendricks, the right-hander for the Chicago Cubs, who struck out a dozen Pirates earlier this year. He is on the hill for Chicago. On the mound for the Pirates, it's the cool customer, Chad Kuhl. Looks to even this series at Wrigley. Pirates Cubbies coming up next. In Chicago, there is a buzz about their Cubs. Came back, won last night, 8-7. Another Marte is on the club. This is a left-handed pitcher, Kelvin Marte, joining the bullpen at least for the time being. And Out come the Chicago Cubs, led by Kyle Hendricks, the Major League's best earned run average at 2.19. An ERA here at Wrigley Field of a minuscule 1.31. The RAV4 starting lineup will be coming up with the Pirates playing these Cubs in Game 2 of the series. Josh Harrison will be leading things off. Will be followed by Josh Bell and Andrew McCutchen. Gregory Polanco, last 3 games, 3 big hits. We talked about that. Has homered in back-to-back games. Starling Marte will follow. David Freese hit 6th. Francisco Cervelli, Jordy Mercer, and Chad Kuhl for Pittsburgh.
And Kyle Hendricks, I mean, what a remarkable year he's having. It's Greg Maddux like 12-7, a 2.19 ERA. You think of Greg Maddux when, you know, later in his career he didn't throw very hard, neither does Hendricks. It just averages the fastball at 87.7 miles per hour. But he can locate, has a great changeup. That's his pitch. He throws it at least a quarter of the time, and opponents hit just 130 against it. But well, what a great year. And as Greg just mentioned, here at Wrigley Field, nobody's hitting him.
Defense, Jorge Soler is in left. Defense brought to you by Honda. Matt Caesar in center, Jason Hayward in right. Bryant Russell, Baez Rizzo on the infield. Miguel Montero catches Hendricks. And the first pitch strike, he throws a bunch of those. Miguel Montero was the pinch hit hero last night. Jay had 3 hits. Looked as though his double in the 7th inning off lefty Travis Wood was going to be enough insurance for the Pirates. They took a 6-3 lead at the time. Came back to chase Jake Arrieta. Scored 6 runs off the reigning Cy Young Award winner. And to right, Hayward. 1 down.
Normally that is enough. I mean, you give the late inning guys 3 runs, it's over. Just one of those nights where, you know, a couple of pitches get hit hard, hit out of the ballpark, and you go to extra innings, and then you have Marte do his thing. He did his best to keep the Cubs from winning earlier in extra innings.
And Josh Bell got the Pirates on the board with that opposite field home run in the 4th off of Arrieta. So we'll see how he fares against Kyle Hendricks. He has had some big at bats already against some of the top pitchers in baseball. And he certainly does not seem intimidated in the least. And you look at 27 at bats, 11 hits, 2 homers, 9 walks, on base percentage .541.
You can make the argument that maybe more locked in here. I mean, there's certain times in the minor leagues, I mean, you're having success, and it's easy just to kind of be complacent and just go about your business. Not suggesting that's Josh Bell at all. Is another hard hit ball, but right at the second baseman Baez. But you know, when you get called up, I mean, your senses are elevated. The adrenaline rush that you get can help you, and then your focus sharpens.
Let's get to our Rivers Casino tips to win.
Well, you don't get a lot of hits off of Kyle Hendricks. I mean, the guy's only given up 114 hits in 152 innings. His whip is only 1. So you got to try to bunch them, get them all in 1 inning. And on the other side, tough lineup to face, a bunch of homers. That's what sent it to extra innings last night. And so for Chad Kuhl, keep it in the yard.
Chad Kuhl, the rookie righty. 1 ball, 1 strike count on McCutchen. Credited with a hit last night in 6 at bats. He's got a little 7-game hitting streak going now. One for 6 in last night's ball game. Jeff Locke did all he could, but you could see he was noticeably getting tired. Over 70 pitches, 3+ innings. Pirates pulled the Houdini act a couple of times. In the 10th inning, the bases loaded situation, the 3-2 put out. Rodriguez at first. Sean Rodriguez threw to Francisco Cervelli, made the diving tag of Javier Baez. Popped up. And looks like a 1-2-3 inning for Hendricks. It is. Chad Colby taking the hill against the Cubbies. Honda starting lineup for the Cubs. Javier Baez leads things off for Chicago last night, his second 4-hit game of the season. Followed by Chris Bryant, who has an 11-game hitting streak, then Anthony Rizzo and Jorge Soler. Jason Hayward is in right. Addison Russell back starting at short. Miguel Montero behind the plate. Matt Caesar the call in center, and Kyle Hendricks.
Chad Kuhl, his numbers by Hyundai. This is his 9th appearance, 3-1, a 3.50 ERA, 27 punch-outs and 43 2/3 innings for Chad. And I want to get that redemption from his last time he faced these Cubs, where he gave up 4 runs and 2 1/3 innings. But that was at PNC Park. Chad Kuhl likes to pitch on the road. His ERA just 2.22 away from PNC.
His battery mate, Francisco Cervelli. This is 9th major league start. Baez 4 for 6 in the game last night. Baez thrown out the plate twice last night. Starling Marte, after throwing him out at the plate, having some fun with him when he got back to the dugout. Double play that ended the bottom of the 12th. Ball clips Baez and looked like got a piece of Cervelli, though Cervelli is pointing to the dugout and says it got his hand. Clint Hurdle says, wait a second.
Check the video.
Yeah.
Fastball coming in, and
oh, that didn't hit him.
No, that didn't hit him. There's no way that hit his
Not even
hand.
close. They're not going to challenge it. He reacted like it hit him.
That's hard to tell.
Yeah, maybe it did. deflected off something for him to react like that. Baez has stolen 11 bases and has been caught 3 times. So Cervelli will have to be at the ready. Chris Bryant at the plate. Bryant 1 for 3, 3 walks, hit by a pitch last night, and a drive to left. Just enough room for Marte. That close for Bryant, looking for home run number 36.
Didn't sound real good off the bat, so you were hoping it would stay in the ballpark, but here at Wrigley you never know.
And especially with Chris Bryant, he has as much power as anybody. He can mishit it and still reach the bleachers. Got the fans excited.
It's a slight breeze blowing from center toward right. So Anthony Rizzo will come to the plate with 1 away.
Talking a lot last night about pitching Rizzo in. As you see there, his averages up is probably more effective than down. 118 up and in, 174 up middle, 188 up and away. Down and in, he can get to it, but you get above the thigh, he has trouble. But we talked about how he's so close to the plate that the pitches off the plate away, as you can see the 542 there, middle off the plate. Ooh, it's like almost down the middle for him because he's so close to the plate.
Drove in a tying run last night. Here's a look at where he stands in the box.
Digs in right at the very back of that batter's box line there. Slightly open stance.
Quite a 1-2 punch. Bryant from the right side, Rizzo from the left.
And after seeing that, the hot and cold zones today, you wonder why more teams don't pitch them up. Anything above the belt has been an issue.
Well, anybody that sees that, yeah, the hot zones that you just showed, you'd think. And he hits this deep to right, toward the wall, and it's gone. A line drive home run for Rizzo, 2-0 Cubs. His 26th. '26 homers, 93 RBIs for Rizzo.
Yeah, he got to that one, and I'm not sure if it got all the way in there. I know Cervelli was setting up right on that inside corner. But again, down and in. Let's see what the WB Mason strike zone says, and yep, that's
that hot zone.
That hot zone in the bottom of the zone, inside corner.
Jorge Soler hit his 10th home run of the year last night. It was 3 for 5. His home run off Tony Watson with 1 out in the bottom of the 9th tied the game. Cool clips Baez maybe on the knuckle in the leadoff spot, then a drive to the wall and left, and the home run to right, and a strikeout. 2 away.
Fastball right there on the outside corner is frozen. Like you're seeing a couple breaking balls, perhaps looking for the slider.
Here is Hayward. 2 hits last night. Hayward has gotten hot since he was essentially benched for 4 straight games. 10 hits in his last 29 at bats. Just misses. Home plate umpire is Brian Knight. Tony Randazzo at first. Bill Miller, crew chief, at second. Trip Gibson is at third. There's Bill Miller. Hard hit. Oh, a nice pickup by Josh Bell. Hard hit off the backhand. Feeds Cole to end the bottom of the first. Anthony Rizzo's 2-run line drive homer, his 26th, gives the Cubs a 2-0 lead.
That wasn't easy. Good hands.
Baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Allegheny Health Network, Health for All. By Bordas & Bordas, official legal partners of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Visit bordaslaw.com. And by Day Automotive, we're gonna make your day. Let's go Bucks!
Down 2. The Pirates were down 3 last night after 3 innings. Came back not only to tie it but take the lead, and they'll have to go to work offensively as Anthony Rizzo cracks the home run to right. Gregory Polanco leads off the second. 6 for 14 against Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks had one of the more impressive starts of the year by any Pirate opponent back on June the 19th here at Wrigley, when he struck out a dozen Pirates in 6 innings. Allowing 1 run on 7 hits, did not walk a batter. He matched that 12 strikeout performance earlier this month against the Cardinals.
The way he has pitched, the Pirates can't afford to give up any more runs. He's allowed as many as 4 earned runs just twice. That's a good change up there. No more than 4, just 4 twice in his 24 starts.
Popped up. Easy play for Baez. Baez makes the catch again. Baez was thrown out the plate twice last night. This double play, one hop strike to Cervelli. A thing of beauty to end the bottom of the 12th.
What was amazing about it, did you see where it bounced? It bounced next to Freeze, the cutoff man, which was like 70 feet from home plate. That's how much velocity was on that ball that it bounced and still had enough on it to come all the way to the home plate.
Barrel league leaders in assists. Saw Marte leading the league, and Cervelli made a couple of fine plays at the plate. Marte 2 out of 6 last night. Back in the top 10 in batting in the National League, 10th at .307. Hendricks gets a lot of soft contact. According to Fangraphs, 26.3% of his batted balls are hit softly. That leads the majors. And would be the highest mark in the last 5 years. This from a guy who essentially was a 5th starter coming out of spring training.
And you go and watch this location. I mean, he just doesn't go inside that box.
Roller. 2 down. Pretty impressive stuff. The ERA of 2.19, the lowest in baseball, and here at home even better, just 1.31 is his ERA at Wrigley. He is 8-0 here since he lost his first start at Wrigley against the Rockies April the 15th. Home road splits. Faces David Freese, who had a couple of hits last night.
A rare curveball. That's his breaking pitch. He only throws that 7% of the time.
His pitching coach is Chris Basio. Hendricks was originally drafted by the Texas Rangers in the 8th round 5 years ago out of Dartmouth. Traded to the Cubs. Deadline deal a year later for Ryan Dempster. Went 8-7 with a 3.95 ERA and 32 starts last season.
And that change up there again, you see the late downward movement on it. As you see how often he throws the change up, 26% of the time. The fastball 66. By far the lowest opponent average on that changeup. But he'll throw it in and out. Typically when you see a changeup, they try to keep it away from the batter, but he doesn't have a problem to throw it inside as well.
1, 2, 3. Top of the second for Hendricks. Mobile. Clayton Kershaw close to coming back from that herniated disc. He's been out since July. Today threw a simulated game at Dodger Stadium. Next step would be rejoining the rotation. Albert Pujols last night, 586th career home run, into a tie for 9th place on the all-time home run list with Frank Robinson, and Ichiro passed Wade Boggs on the all-time hit list, 3010 and 3011, as Ichiro continues to climb the ranks of the all-time hits list. And in addition to that, another note we saw out of New York, Neil Walker's back issue could end his season, according to reports out in New York. Terry Collins, the Mets skipper, said there's a lot of concern about Neil Walker's back. That would be a gigantic blow to the Mets' hopes. They've gotten a shot in the arm with Yoenis Cespedes returning. Madison Russell in the hole, 0-2. He got the night off last night. But as far as the starter is concerned, it did end up with 2 at-bats and was 0 for 2. Gorgeous night. Great looking sunset. Cubs
still warm.
Yeah, very. Cubs back after a long road trip that had them at Coors Field, Petco, and San Diego, and they finished up at Dodger Stadium, dropping 2 of 3 to LA after beginning the road trip, losing 2 of 3 to the Rockies, and they're back home. Take on these Buccos and then the Giants in a 4-game series. 83 and 47. Off to one of the best starts in the franchise's history. John Lester. Pirates won't see Lester. They'll see Mike Montgomery tomorrow. But Lester in a friendly competition with Kyle Hendricks and Jake Arrieta, try and win the ERA title and collect the most wins in the league. Now 2-2 on Russell. 84 RBIs for Addison Russell.
Yeah, how about that? That's a number that really stuck out. 84.
Just 22 years old. He's the first Cubs shortstop to drive in that many runs since Ernie Banks back in 1961. And the great Hall of Famer drove in 104.
By the way, you were talking about the starters and the friendly competition. 4 of the top 6 pitchers, as far as opponents' batting average, all Cubs starters.
Well, after jumping ahead of Russell, 0-2, Cool walks him. Reminder, Pirates are paying all service fees on tickets for the remaining home games this season, save on Free Shirt Fridays, which is coming up this Friday, Fireworks Nights, Fan Jam featuring Hunter Hayes, that and much more. Special offer ends this coming Monday at 8. Get your tickets at pirates.com/no fees. Homestand that includes the 3 games with the Brewers, the 71 World Series celebration, starting Friday night with that Free Shirt Friday. The tumblers given away to fans on Saturday night, first 20,000, and the kids' caps on Sunday, and then the Cardinals, the showdown against the Redbirds on Labor Day starting Monday afternoon. Go to pirates.com, take advantage of the no fees. Miguel Montero, a pinch hit, game-winning RBI single last night off of Jeff Locke. Had a fairly large lead over there. Not a great throw from Cool. Russell 4 out of 5 in stolen bases. And there he goes. Taken for a strike. Throw is wide. Safe.
I was surprised Russell went. He didn't get a very good jump at all. Cervelli, if he's on the other side of the bag, I think he's out by a mile. Jordy Mercer had to take that throw and come across. Yeah, that ball got there well ahead. And somehow he's able to keep his body on there. Like the hand comes off. He's reaching with the right hand, and is the right hand.
Wait a second. I saw daylight. Cervelli reacting. Pirates will not challenge.
Don't see that very much from Cervelli. Rarely does he throw the ball to the third base side of second.
Nobody out. Three looks to second, and finally time call. Two and one on the veteran backstop, Miguel Montero. RBI last night, his 25th ribby. Still hitting under 200 for the year.
It's almost a point in time where you just have Chad Cole worry about the hitter. I mean, it's not like you got, you know, a huge stolen base threat there, and you can tell Chad Cole is concerned with Russell out there.
Three and one on a 199 hitter. That really kind of all you need to know. Cole, a guy that has been throwing a lot of strikes. Three and two. Knight calls it a strike.
Staying way on Montero and gets a call. You know, every now and again you'll have a hitter that, you know, looks back or is unhappy with a call and it's actually in the strike zone. But hitters are really good at knowing the strike zone, knowing what's on, what's just off.
That's so true. Most times they get it.
Breaking ball. Montero able to waste another one.
Well, Russell had an extended at bat. Now Miguel Montero. (16 pitches, 2 batters into this second inning. Goes the other way. Runner waved home. Here comes Marte's throw. Strong, but Cervelli and Russell kind of collide. Now Cool guns towards second base, and he is out. Cool backing up on the play. Throws to get Montero. But another run in. It's 3-0.
Boy, I was stunned that he was waved home there by Gary Jones. Addison Russell, the way Marte's been throwing, and this time just a little off the mark. Marte, as you see that pitch actually off the plate a little bit. Montero Comes up with another big RBI base hit. There's Marte's throw. It just kind of tailed on him. Cervelli tried to pick it, but the ball and Russell arrive about the same time. Montero took too long to get to first base to make it to second. If he goes hard around first, he could have walked into second. I figure he was just around the bag, and that ball, Russell went from second to home.
Yeah.
While Montero went 90 feet.
Montero didn't really have a good wide turn, aggressive. There's the third base coach waving home Russell. There's another look, a strong throw.
Yeah, that just went into the runner Russell. Cervelli couldn't get there.
And Caesar lifts one to center. Two outs in the second, a run in, 3-0 against Chad Kuhl. Will face now the pitcher Kyle Hendricks. That walk to Russell, and then the stolen base leading to the run. Kuhl has walked just a dozen in 46 big league innings. Here's Russell. That was a long throw from Kuhl, by the way, to second base. There's Alan Hansen. He has arrived. Pirates adding to the bench. David Freese will throw out the pitcher. Another run in, and a 3-0 Chicago lead.
Ivan Nova in the Pirates dugout. I'm Robbie and Smikowski. Ivan Nova was our guest tonight on Twitter Tuesday, and he was asked by Shannon, what is the biggest difference between the American League and here in the National League?
The stadium is a little bit bigger than the one in the American League is. A lot of power hitters on that division that I was playing, and it's not that here that we don't have a power hitter, but you know, I think knowing that you have the pitcher behind the 9 hole is kind of different because you know which one you want to pitch to it, and you know, there's a lot of things different here that, you know, for me it's going kind of easier than the American League.
And what a treat that must be, Greg, when you look at Ivan Nova, who spent his entire career with the New York Yankees, now finding out when I'm facing this number 8 guy, hey, maybe I could pitch around him a little bit and get to the pitcher like Chad Kuhl did last inning.
And it's something that the Pirates have recognized, Robbie, when they have made certain acquisitions of pitchers over the last few years that can help. Even a veteran starter. Remember A.J. Burnett being acquired from the Yankees. Francisco Liriano signed as a free agent deal after those years in the American League. Jay Happ rebounded, joining the National League the second half last year.
Especially that American League East. A lot of small ballparks, although Happ seems to be doing pretty good, despite the pitching in Toronto where the ball carries. Baltimore is a small ballpark.
Happ, by the way, pitching tonight in Baltimore and has given up 3 runs in 5 2/3.
Yankees, short porch to right. Boston, short porch to left.
Bouncing ball to the shortstop. Russell takes care of Cervelli. $3-0 Cubs.
And they seem like they have all the power hitters in that division too. Josh Donaldson and Chris Davis, Mark Trumbo. Big Poppy.
Yeah.
That Big
Mookie
Poppy.
Betts.
Yeah, Mookie Betts. How about that? Yeah, Big Poppy. I mean, he's having an MVP type season. He's saying he's going to retire.
Yeah. Believe it when I see it. Just doesn't happen. The guy just does not retire after arguably maybe his best season ever. And if he does retire, you could argue it might be the best season of all time from the guy in his last year. Oh, look at Russell's range. Pretty play, Addison Russell.
Another guy, not real flashy, kind of like Jordy Mercer. You don't see a lot of flash from Russell, but he makes the plays, and he did have to go a long way. Look how far. 1, 2, 3. A 4th step to come up with that. Takes his time. Turns. Strong throw. Stays on his feet.
That's something you don't see too often, or as often, I guess I should say.
See a lot of slides on that particular play.
Drop down to a knee.
Yeah, no need for it.
See if Chad Kuhl can make Hendricks work. It's been easy through 8 batters.
Is Ortiz, Big Poppy, is he 40? He's 40.
I think so, yeah.
I mean, it might be the best year of a 40-year-old ever. I mean, it's
most home runs ever by a 40-year-old, right?
Crazy.
Oh. 3 perfect innings for Hendricks. And a 3-0 Cubs lead. area. Thanks for watching and rooting on your Pittsburgh Pirates. All of us at Root Sports and the Pirates appreciate your support, especially in Harrisburg in central Pennsylvania. Right there by the Susquehanna, the capital of the Commonwealth. We're here in Chicago. The Cubs up 3-0. And Garrett Cole talking with Ryan Vogelsong. Cole spoke with members of the media at inflammation in the elbow on the disabled list, and it was good to see him out. Actually, our Allegheny Health Network injury update, he was throwing to Todd Tomczyk, who's got that catcher's mitt on, for several minutes on flat ground, and then afterward talking with the head trainer and pitching coach Ray Searage. But seems in very, very good spirits, Garrett Cole. That's a good sign. In fact, he was even throwing already today. Describing just how he feels. And again, talking with Ryan Vogelsong, who goes tomorrow night, finale of this series. Now that Cole is out of the rotation for the time being, all completely new rotation from that first half.
Yep, it's remarkable.
See how long it takes to get Garrett Cole back.
Baez hit by a pitch, just barely got him across the left hand, maybe. 2-1. And that led to a 2-run homer by Anthony Rizzo, one batter later. And a liner that's going to carry out to Marte. And again, those two having fun. Make your free shirt Friday coming up. Pirates take on the Brewers. One of the first 20,000 fans get these shirts. 1971 inspired, presented by FedEx Ground. Plus, buy your tickets now and pay no fees now through the end of the season. Go to pirates.com/1971. Is there any chance I can request that we see that again? Because as I was reading the promo, I didn't get a chance to see it.
I'm sure you could see it again. But that might be the last time they...
Here it is. Now look at this. Look at him looking up here. Look at this guy. Mr. Blast. It's an absolute classic.
Yeah. And I think his purpose with all the antics was to never get asked again.
I don't know about that. I think that he might be a regular next year. And of course, this begins the process, as I said. Each broadcaster hopefully will play a role in upcoming Free Shirt Friday commercials. If not the rest of this year, then next year. Yeah, be ready.
The home broadcasters, no doubt.
Can you imagine Bob and Joe and you doing those?
The home broadcasters, no doubt, should be modeling T-shirts.
What if we did a road Free Shirt Friday giveaway, like Road Grays?
It wouldn't be on the road. I mean, you're not going to give away shirts on the road.
I mean, you need someone to model the road jerseys.
Yes, the home broadcasters and the players.
Well, listen, that's up to the promotions department, Brian Chiera and company, and they will decide who they use as actors.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow.
In on Bryant in a big way, and somehow he fights that one off. Ouch.
Yeah, that came way in there. Wow. And there again off the plate at 95 from Chad Kuhl.
Man.
You see there, the 8th pitch, not one in the strike zone. All around it.
course, the Cubs bullpen, the relievers, this is kind of their thing. They don't move on foul balls. They've been clipped a couple times.
Well, that's just silly.
Yeah. Travis Wood got hit, I think, on the shoulder, if I'm not mistaken, by a hard hit foul ball a few days ago. Popped up, and that is going to reach the seats.
If it's coming at somebody's head, they'll move. If not, that's worse than silly. That's just dumb.
Yeah. They'll move. They're smart. They're buccos. Broken bat, pop up. Bryant headed to second. Safe.
That's one thing about the shifts. Plays like this, no second baseman. That would normally be the second baseman's ball. Josh Bell got turned around a little bit. The ball looked like it beat him. Just the tag a bit late.
And a close play.
Yeah.
Good hustle by Bryant, though. There's a guy that certainly isn't taking anything for granted.
No. Yeah, probably their front runner for the MVP. And hits a ball about 130 feet and ends up with a double.
Right-handed, left-handed punch of Bryant and Rizzo takes you back maybe a few years to Bryant, Braun, Prince Fielder. Very, very tough pitch to both these guys back to back. That will move the runner. But 2 outs. Not certain what Rizzo was intending to do. Rizzo homered with 1 out and a man on in the first, his 26th. And it was the 6th allowed by Chad Kuhl. Made that start against the Cubs July the 9th, just before the All-Star break. Cubs had taken an early lead. The Pirates came back and won a wild one at PNC Park, 12-6. Kuhl lasted 2 1/3. Give up an early homer to Ben Zobrist. Cervelli with a stab and a save.
He yanked that slider a little bit, just off the, just in the end of the glove too. And Cervelli, calm down. Take it easy. Stay back. At him, fastball, 95 again.
Struck out Soler looking in the first. Soler spent some time on the disabled list this year. 24-year-old, Havana, Cuba. 2-1. Now 3 balls and a strike.
He's a big man too, and he's going to look for a fastball to turn on. And he's no small guy either. I mean, it's an imposing lineup, just physically.
Yes.
Good little breaking ball. Drops it in there, first strike.
Three and 2. Chad Kuhl looking for the last out. Gave up the 2-run homer to Rizzo in the first. Miguel Montero brought home Addison Russell last inning. And another walk. Second for Chad Kuhl.
And you see Francisco Cervelli actually looks like to be setting up a little bit off the plate. Kuhl puts it right where Cervelli sets up, but it's off the plate.
Hayward, a hard hit ball to the right side of the infield in the first inning that Josh Bell grabbed.
Try to change up.
23 years old, Chad Kuhl. 9th round pick 3 years ago out of the University of Delaware, and first trip to the mound tonight for Ray Searage. See a bunch of pitches. And this is trip number 1 by the Pirates coach. And if he or Clint Hurdle were to head back to the mound this inning, then it's automatic that the starter has to leave. But nobody caught last night, including the Pirates, when Joe Madden went out to the mound after Chris Bosio had paid Arrieta a visit. And as soon as the manager Madden went out, Arrieta knew it was the second trip. He was started to hand Madden the baseball in the 7th inning. Madden went out there, the infielders gathered, and then Tripp Gibson, the home plate umpire, came out, and there was a big discussion. Some might call an argument. He left, and they allowed Arrieta to stay in the ball game. Two and 0. A fly ball to McCutchen just as the bullpen was getting up for the Pirates. And that'll do it. Laborious 3 innings for Chad Kuhl, but it's just 3-0.
hybrid has performance that will make you rethink hybrid. Let's go Bucks!
3-0, head to the fourth here at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Greg Brown, John Wayner, Robbie and Smikowski with you here on Root Sports. And some of the country is watching an MLB Network showcase game with Bob Costas and John Smoltz and Tom Verducci, sideline reporter. I saw him down in the Cub dugout. Josh Harrison. We look back to June 19th. Jay Hay, the home run off of Kyle Hendricks, one of his 4 dingers on the year. 4 for 11 lifetime against this starter who has pitched perfect ball through 3 innings. It's a strike call there. The only run that Hendricks would allow that night, that home run in his 6 innings of work with a dozen strikeouts. He has talked about how repeating his delivery has been a key for him. He's been able to throw all of his pitches really at any time to any side of the plate. How important that repeating that delivery is for consistency for these starters.
You end up with the same release point. You end up throwing it where you want to. See, 80% of his first pitches are strikes. There's that inside changeup once again. But you know, as you watch him pitch, I mean, what's impressive, the ball's down for the most part. The ball stays out around that strike zone, not in it. Just doesn't make many mistakes. And for a guy that doesn't throw hard, as you see here, all around it, not inside it. And we talked last night about Jake Arrieta. I mean, he gets away with some mistakes because he's overpowering at times. Although the Pirates capitalized on a couple of those mistakes last night, this guy can't afford to leave the ball in the middle of the plate.
That's what makes this so interesting to watch. This Hendricks kind of blossom this year. Entered the season with a 3.49 ERA and 45 career starts. Enters tonight's game with a 2.19 ERA. In August, his earned run average 153. And a leadoff walk. And talked about that a lot this year, about Harrison being one of the guys that is a free swinger and not an easy guy to walk. And as John said, look at nothing in the box, or the window as Steve calls it.
And, even that pitch, I mean, that's a pretty good take because it looked like it had a little late sink that, you know, for a hitter, you see that and it looks like it's in the zone, but the ball runs just out.
As Josh Bell hit a one-hop shot to second his first time up. We'll see if he adjusts after being fooled badly by that off-speed pitch. Lefties hit just a bit better against Hendricks this year, 220. Uh-oh. Picked off. Harrison is picked off first. 1 out.
Got caught going the wrong way. I think at times, you know, base runners, when they're looking, especially the base stealers who are looking to go, sometimes if you look at the feet or the legs, you can get crossed up like that. And you see one leg move and then you flinch in the wrong direction and you're a dead duck. found it to be easier to look at the pitcher's back, because obviously when he comes to first base, he has to turn, and you can peripherally see as he starts to the plate. But it's very difficult.
But that's not what is a key. Most times, what's a key for base runners?
Well, they usually look to see if the if the left leg comes up, they can go. If the right leg, obviously, if the right leg steps off or starts turning to go to first, you got to go back. But what happens? You're looking at 2 different feet. I think it's so much easier. Routine play there for Bryant. It's just to me, it's easier just to look at the middle of the back. I mean, you'll have first base. Some first base coaches will tell you to look, the upper thigh or the upper left thigh to see it come up or whatever. I've heard a lot of different things as far as ways to look at the right-handed pitcher to try to figure out a way to get a better jump. And I just felt that by looking at his back, you're not going to get caught in between. It's possible you might get off a split second later as far as your jump, maybe, but much more difficult to get picked off that way.
Harrison is picked off, so no hitter remains intact. Voted this day in Pirates history. This day, 2011, Pirates would lose to the Astros, but Andrew McCutchen at his 20th home run of the year became the 8th Pirate to join the 2020 club. First since Nate McLeod did it in 2008. The others, 2020, Jason Bay, Kevin Young, Al Martin, Andy Van Slyke, Barry Bonds did it 4 times. Dave Parker did it twice. 20 homers, 20 steals in a season. I thought coming into this season that the next obvious candidate on the Pirates team would be Starling Marte. He's easily surpassed the stolen base mark, but he's hit only 8 homers. Gregory Polanco also runs well. He's hit 21 homers, but 11 steals, so it'd be difficult for him to get to that 2020 plateau. But guys that are capable. Russell walked in the second. He stole a base off of Cool and scored on a base hit by Montero. See the pitch count for Cool at 71.
Good breaking ball there. Good location, keeping it down.
19 1908 Zombie Cubs are here.
That is an interesting.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, that is wild. Yes. The eyes. What about the eyes?
Yeah. Harkening back to the 1908 World Series championship team that defeated the Tigers, the last World Series championship club. Last year's team, after beating the Pirates in the wild card, went on to beat the Cardinals in the division series, but lost to the Mets in the National League Championship Series. The Mets swept the Cubs 4-0. 2-2 on Montero. But the Cubs were able to clinch a playoff game at Wrigley Field for the first time in franchise history. And they downed the Cardinals 3-1. Montero strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Cool. Bring up Matt Caesar. Pirates 1971 World Series celebrated this coming weekend. 45th anniversary. Travel tumblers given away. First 20,000 fans on Saturday night. Presented by Dunkin' Donuts. And remember, buy your tickets now through the end of the season. You pay no fees. Get your tickets at pirates.com. No fees. So take advantage of that right now.
Quick inning would be nice. Next pitch will be number 80.
Caesar flied to center his first time. The Mets are leading the Marlins 4-2 after 6. Cardinals and Brewers are scoreless, and a base hit for Caesar. Matt Caesar gets Hendricks to the plate. And the 2-out single off of Chad Kuhl.
Not quite the threat Arrieta is as far as pitchers and hitting.
Easy for Cool. And that'll do it for the Cubs in the bottom of the fourth. On to the fifth. 3-0 Chicago in front.
From Patricia Davies on Twitter Tuesday. Yvonne, besides your fellow pitchers, which teammates help you the most to adjust to life as a Pittsburgh Pirate?
You know, I think all of them has been great with me. All of them had to try me to you know, enjoy this more than what I could imagine. Being traded for the first time is kind of hard for me at the beginning, but after that, everything kind of changed. Seeing a lot of Dominican guys, and you know, I play against most of these guys, and you know, I think that was an easy transition for me.
You know, we talked a lot, Greg and John, about the adjustment process to Pittsburgh and Pirates pregame when we did a separate interview for Twitter Tuesday. And one guy he pointed out was Josh Harrison. He said, hey, I love playing with that guy. He's the guy that really stood out to him the most in terms of everyone else, what he just answered earlier. But he's obviously having a ton of fun here in the Bucco uniform the first month.
Yeah, and he's Pirates are having fun watching him pitch. Ron Nova, 6 strong innings the other day. He is 4-0. Josh Harrison. Nova talking about how much fun it is watching him.
He comes to play every night. What game he had last night, this whole series, or whole road trip rather. Jay Hay's been all over the place. Goes anything less than 100%. Right. Can't say that about a lot of guys these days.
Called a strike. Polanco, that might have been down a bit. Brian Knight calls it a strike, 2-2. First hit of the game for the Pirates belongs to Gregory Polanco, leading off the top of the 5th.
And he seems like the type that, like, okay, he now
he can put that call aside.
Yeah, he never used to even question an umpire, and now he'll question him, but it doesn't. It's not like he gets irate or, you know, he just
moves on.
Yeah, make a point and go back to bearing down.
Miguel Montero reacts to losing the no-no.
And one of the few times we saw a pitch inside the box.
Harrison led off last inning with a walk, and Hendricks picked him off. Marte shrugs his shoulders on that one.
The first pitch at the very top of the zone, the second pitch at the very bottom. One a ball, one a strike.
And another strike.
And all on that outline, just top of the zone, bottom of the zone, outside the zone, or just outside on the outside edge.
Broken bat. One. Not going to get Marte. Well, Russell did all he could. Quick shovel off to Baez. One down.
And everything has to be perfect for an infield to turn a double play with Marte running out of the batter's box. Just too quick.
Races Polanco, one down the batter David Freese.
could be mistaken, but I'm thinking the only curveballs Hendricks has thrown tonight has been to David Freese. Starts him off once again with the get me over curveball.
Marte swiped a couple of bags last night, now has 46. Billy Hamilton 54. The Red center fielder Jonathan VR of the Brewers with 50. Hendricks trying to become the first Cub to lead the major leagues in ERA since Bill Lee in 1938. Not the spaceman Bill Lee, former Cub Bill Lee. There goes Marte. Taken for a ball. Throw. Got him.
Well, if you're going to go in this situation, you haven't had many base runners. You got to make sure. You just can't make outs on the bases. Now, we've only had a couple of base runners, and after the walk of Josh Harrison, he's picked off. Base hit from Polanco. Marte reaches on a force. And he's retired. Took a perfect throw, but still.
Taro gets him. Struck him out looking. Another leadoff man gets on, but Harrison picked off in the fourth. Marte caught stealing here in the fifth.
Traverse and your Western PA Chevy dealers. And by Barrow. Visit our brand new Kia showroom in Wexford. More vehicles than ever at the very best prices. Let's go Bucks!
Chicago up 3-0 in the middle game of the series. There's just a couple of base runners. A walk to Harrison. Last inning, he was picked off, and Marte reaching on the fielder's choice, then tries to steal against Miguel Montero. You know why Miguel Montero was so excited after throwing out Marte? It was only the 4th time this season that he has thrown out a runner 58 attempts.
Wow, that's a lot.
Just the 4th man that Montero has gotten 58 tries. Baez, who applied the tag on Marte, drives one deep but foul.
Got a hanging breaking ball, big swing, eyes got big, too quick. That's the Baez we saw when he first came to the big leagues.
Just about to say that he has cut down on the strikeouts, not at the rate he was a rookie, but still will go down. His rookie season, 213 at bats, struck out 95 times.
And that, he was just up there. He swung at everything that left the pitcher's hand. Just big, strong. And it was almost they brought him up to humble him, to tell him, hey, it's not going to work. And they kept running him out there and said, well, you better go down and learn to shorten that swing.
Ball one on Bryant. 1-1. Pop up on the outfield grass turned Josh Bell around. Bell went to the ground. Bryant continued to second. 109 runs scored this season to lead the majors. The most by a Cub since Derek Lee scored 120 runs back in 2005. And Chad Kuhl looks like he's just starting to heat things up now.
That's 4th strikeout. Last 6 batters. And didn't seem like Bryant liked that call. There was some late movement. The pitch started off the plate and it started trying to run back to that outside corner and didn't quite get there. But Chad Kuhl gets the call.
Rizzo has homered and bounced out. Drives this one deep to right, but room for Polanco. 1-2-3 go the Cubs. 5 innings complete. 3-0 Chicago.
They trail 3-0 as we hit the 6th inning. Well, general manager Neil Huntington says he likes when minor league pitchers face adversity because overcoming it in the minors is a lot easier than doing it in the big leagues for the first time. And that is exactly what Mitch Keller has done. Now, you look at what he's done the last 4 starts with the West Virginia Power, and he's recently earned himself a promotion. The line from tonight is with the Bradenton Marauders. He went 6 shutout innings, striking out 7, and gave up just 5 hits. And in his previous 4 starts with the West Virginia Power, he gave up a total of 10 runs in 12 innings. So he's really overcome that adversity in the low A level. Now, Neil said when he makes his way to Pittsburgh, he'll have already experienced the ups and downs of a pro ball player. He said they like when guys pitch in postseason environments when they can move up, just like the Bradenton Marauders will do. And playoff environments are the closest thing they can get to replicating a Major League Baseball game. One other honor for Mitch Keller, by the way. Today he was named as the best right-handed pitcher and the most outstanding pitcher in the South Atlantic League this season. He was a 2nd-round pick 2 years ago, back in 2014, climbing the ladder pretty quick up the Pirates system, Greg and John.
And only 20 years old, Robbie. Strike called on Cervelli again, right there at the bottom of that zone for Hendricks. Pitcher spot drew up 3rd for the Pirates, and so A.J. Schugel is loosening.
That looked like a changeup that cut.
Calls that, I think he calls that his 2-seam changeup. He's got all kinds of names for these. Well, he's Dartmouth guy. Ball hit the other way, fairly deep, but plenty of room. Hendricks out of Dartmouth, drafted by the Texas Rangers. Pirates had a former big green player, remember Mark Johnson, big first baseman. He and Brad Ausmus, college teammates at Dartmouth. Former Cub Mike Remlinger was a Dartmouth product. Pete Broberg, who spent some years with the Texas Rangers and a season with the Cubs.
Johnson, one of the better teammates you can have. What a nice guy he was.
I really rooted for him.
Yeah, I think he's in Wall Street.
I think so.
Last I saw him working.
Big left-handed hitting first baseman Mark Johnson. Was really promising when he arrived on the scene. Thought that this could be the guy for years. Patrol first base for the Bucks. Nobody worked harder.
No,
Mark Johnson.
not many with more power.
Yeah,
and he could hit the ball a long way. He's a quarterback.
Yeah. Bouncing ball to the shortstop. 2 outs. Hendricks rolling along. If you're on the road traveling and you want to watch your Buccos, you can subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on-demand baseball on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. Keeping track of the Cardinals and Brewers, they're tied at 1 in the bottom of the 6th as John Jaso will be announced as the pinch hitter for Chad Kuhl. Mets lead the Marlins 7-2 after 7 innings. Jaso pinch hit last night against Jake Arrieta and bounced out. Line drive right field, and it is a fair ball. Into the corner it goes. Jaso with a 2-out double, and this has been kind of a weapon now for Clint Hurdle. Jaso off the bench.
Yeah, that's his 6th pinch hit in 18 at bats, which goes as a .333 average, and he gets a pitch down the middle, right around the knees and just inside the foul line. Yeah, he's been doing a great job as a pinch hitter.
5 for 9 in his last 6 games off the bench. See if Josh Harrison can get him home. Two-out double for Jaso. Fly ball to center, sending Caesar back for the final out. Hendricks shutting out the Bucks through his 6 frames. Forward to Miller time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Cubs leading at 3-0 going to the bottom of the 6th inning. First inning, man aboard, 1 out, and Anthony Rizzo lines his 26th home run of the year over the right field wall. Gives the Cubs the early lead, 2-0. Then in the second, with Addison Russell at second, Miguel Montero goes the other way against Cool, and Russell will score on the throw from Starling Marte. Ball gets away, but Chad Cool backing up, able to throw out Montero trying to advance. Those the 3 runs in the ball game. Now Hendricks has allowed just those 2 hits. Now the bottom of the 6th inning, A.J. Schugel takes over for the Bucks.
(2-2) with 3.78 ERA. It's his 36th appearance, 50 innings. Opponents hitting .219 against AJ.
The other way. Soler singles to start the bottom of the 6th. Rob King back to Rob, the studios, and a game break. So that's the Mets and Marlins. The Mets and Marlins tied 2.5 back behind the St. Louis Cardinals. that second wild card spot. Cardinals and Brewers are tied at 1 after 6 in Milwaukee. Pirates a game and a half back of the Redbirds. That is Adam Wainwright on the hill. Wainwright against Willie Peralta. Hayward has bounced to first, flied to center. You see David Freese playing almost towards short. Off speed, and Hayward goes down on strikes.
Such a good changeup, A.J. Schugel. It just looks like the fastball out of his hand, but it just doesn't get to the plate. See a little late movement. Even there, missing a bit with the location, throwing it right down the middle, but Hayward way out in front.
Oh, Russell. Russell stole a base after drawing the walk in the second. Just his 5th steal and scored on the base hit by Montero.
We were talking earlier about Anthony Rizzo and pitching him in. Russell, a guy that also likes to pull the ball, but struggles with the pitch on the inside part of the plate.
Schugel has been up and down the Pirates and AAA Indianapolis. He has performed well his time with Pittsburgh. Retired the 3 batters he faced last night. AAA Indianapolis on Sunday. The Pirates will be calling up at least a player or 2 on Friday. Oh, knocked down by Schugel, and gets the out. The stretch by Bell. A bang bang play, 2 away.
Yeah, nice recovery by AJ as he reaches behind him. Hard to tell if that ball would have been able to stay in the infield if he doesn't backhand it with that glove. The athlete. Didn't see that much of a shift with the middle infield, so it wasn't like J-Hay was behind second base. So yep, very well may have ended up in center field. The quick throw and a good stretch, and Bell just staying on that first base bag.
One thing early on, he does seem to have a knack for Bell. He's got the big wingspan, the big body, so he's able to get the glove out there, way out there. And now Miguel Montero, who is 1 for 2. Catchers on this roster. Wilson Contreras, the rookie, started last night. David Ross, the retiring veteran, and Montero. Popped it up, headed toward the seats. Two on Montero.
Poor effort. All those guys, the brave men up there trying to make a catch, and everybody whiffed on it. The last second, pulled away.
Still 0-2 on Montero. Second year with the Cubs after 9 seasons with the Arizona Diamondbacks. Still 0-2. Montero, just a few years ago, back-to-back 85-plus RBI seasons, 2011, 2012, drove in 72 for the Snakes 2 years ago. Now 33, serving as a backup. A mix of veterans and young up-and-coming stars on this Cubs roster. Nice grab. Montero just last month turning 33. David Ross 39. You've got guys like Javier Baez, 23 years old. 22-year-old Addison Russell. Roller to second. A.J. Schugel pitches a scoreless bottom of the 6th. Head of the 7th, down 3.
Is brought to you by Kenny Ross, Total Confidence Pricing, and by Levin Furniture, the official furniture and mattress supplier to the Pittsburgh Pirates. For the best quality, service, and value, shop Levin's. Let's go Bucks!
3-0 Cubs. To the 7th inning we go. And this is a big part of the order for Pittsburgh. 2, 3, 4. Bell, McCutchen, Polanco. If someone reaches Marte, it's really imperative that they try and get something done here. Strike is called. Bell 0 for 2. On him, and Fouls it off toward third. Quiet bullpen. As you can see, they don't move on that slow bounder.
Back in there. Late movement. Josh Bell thinks it's inside. Man, this thing almost looks like a screwball. How much this came back. It's out of his hand, and it looks like it's well off the plate inside. Watch it, how much it moves. And catches the top of the zone, right on the inside edge. Your eyes just tell you can't hit it. You see it out of the hand, oh, that's in.
The last Cub to lead the majors in ERA, 1945 Ray Prim. He was the last to lead the National League in ERA, 1945 Ray Prim. Bill Lee in 1938 led the majors. Jake Arrieta had a 1.77 ERA last season, but finished second to Zach Greinke. Hendricks' ERA at the moment is 2.10.
Two straight 88-mile-per-hour fastballs to Andrew. And then it's almost like, yeah, he throws a sinker after that. You know, he came right at him. A late swing from Andrew. And then the second one was right at the bottom of the zone. Then he throws one that breaks straight down.
Something to see how Hendricks again has just burst onto the scene this year. Line drive, base hit for Andrew McCutchen on the 3-2 pitch.
And Montero wanted him to throw the changeup. He shook it off and threw the fastball down and away. Good location, better swing from Andrew. Not so much down, but right on the outside corner. Short, compact swing. Polanco, the way he's been swinging it, he could make this a game with another long ball.
1-2. Point Park University tweet. Could El Cafe be the next Big Papi?
Sure he can. Although Big Papi did some impressive things throughout his career, still doing them. But he has the talent, that's for sure. One of those rare curveballs he's just able to throw in there for a strike.
Two strikes on Gregory Polanco. A couple of weeks he'll turn 25. He's in his second full season in the major league, so he's got a ways to go before he reaches Big Papi status. Of course, Polanco has credited Big Papi with helping him a couple of off seasons back. Side. At one, and that's the second out. Baez to Russell, and it will bring up Starling Marte to face Kyle Hendricks. Hendricks has thrown 2 complete games. 1 shutout. The first of this month, he pitched a 7-hitter against the Marlins here at Wrigley.
Seems like Cubs had a bit of a lack of confidence in Hendricks earlier this year. I mean, there's only been 2 starts where he's allowed 4 earned runs. Every other start has been less than that, 3 or less. But I remember coming into town in the middle of June and like looking, it's like 5 innings, 5 1/3, 5 1/3, 6.
Polanco takes off and he steals second easily. That's his 12th steal of the year.
A little bit of a walking lead for Polanco, those long strides. And that's kind of the way you got to approach it when you're down 3 runs. If you're going to steal, you got to be pretty confident that you're going to make it easily.
Toward right. And that'll do it. Marte lines out to right. Pirates leave him in. 3-zip. Ryan Sandberg, the Take Me Out to the Ball game, which has been a tradition here since the days of Harry Carey, the late great Harry Carey. Line out by Matt Caesar. 1 pitch, 1 out. Now we'll have a pinch hitter for Hendricks. It'll be Ben Zobrist. 2nd inning of work for Schugel. Carl Edwards Jr. will be the new pitcher, and again a fantastic performance from Hendricks.
Just a couple of batters over the minimum through 7. Edwards, the only Cub reliever not to work in yesterday's game.
Pitch hitting Zobrist. Takes a strike from Schugel. Zobrist 0 for 5 last night with a walk. A couple of walks, actually. Shutout baseball for 7 innings. Just 3 hits for Hendricks. Two and 2 on Zobrist. Remains 2 and 2 on Ben Zobrist, who signed over the winter. Came to the plate 7 times last night in a 5-hour, 3-minute marathon, a game that went 13 innings. Nothing like the game that took place on this date in 1916. The fastest professional baseball 9-inning game ever played was on this date in 1916. Visiting Winston-Salem Twins beat the Tourists 2-1 in 31 minutes.
What?
That's right.
No way.
There were 200 in attendance at Oates Park. It's going to be pulled foul into the seats. And the patrons were unaware that the two teams had agreed to speed up the Class D North Carolina State League contest because both teams had trains to catch. They were so upset with the game's quickness that the owner of the Asheville team, L.L. Jenkins, assured everyone that he would fully refund the price of admission. So be careful what you wish for. You want to speed up the game. All popped up.
31 minutes. That's almost impossible.
like a blast pitched game.
And, you know, I would have to think pitchers were letting them put it to play or whatever. I mean, just lob it in there, swing it.
Yeah, and no hits. I mean, what?
Yeah. How does that work?
They probably kept running until they were tagged out if they reached base.
Yeah, I don't know if you would remember. Well, the fastest game I remember, it was like, you know, with minor league doubleheader, so 7-inning game. Like Wakefield threw like in Buffalo, so I'm not sure if you were here yet or still there. It was like 1 hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was there. I don't remember. It was actually in Buffalo.
It was in Buffalo. My guess, though, it would have been 93 or 94. Had to be 93 or 94. It wasn't 91 or 92.
I think it was 93. But he could get it and throw it.
Yeah. You're going to prove me wrong now.
No, I'm not. No, no.
Look it up.
I am not.
It was quick. I remember that.
Baez, count of 3 and 2. Joyce looking on, hoping to get a chance. 2 more shots. Pirates down 3. Knocked down. Schugel. He has a 1-2-3 bottom of the 7th.
Nothing here at Wrigley. Ivan Nova in the center of your screen. Tonight's guest on Twitter Tuesday was asked, Ivan, what makes Pittsburgh so unique to you?
It's the fans, it's the organization, it's our teammates. Those guys never give up. You know, those guys fighting to the end, and seeing that every single day is kind of like something that I was, looking for a long time ago.
You could really tell, Greg and John, in talking to him, just how refreshed he feels coming over here. Not that there was anything wrong with his stint with the New York Yankees, but a change of scenery, as I'm sure you've seen many, many times in your baseball careers, can really do a guy good. And he just seems so relaxed being here in a Pirates uniform, and hopefully the success continues when he pitches.
It is pretty remarkable, Robbie, to see how that can happen. Just a change of scenery. Pirates done a good job of selecting players, either some free agents or through trades, acquiring players who maybe had down years or struggled. Pirates completed that trade today with the Yankees. Stephen Tarpley, one of the left-handers that came over in the Travis Snyder deal. He and Stephen Brolt pitched last night, but Tarpley and Tito Polo, we saw in spring training, have been traded to the Yankees for Nova. Pirates have not listed the probable pitchers over the weekend against the Brewers. Might have something to do with Nova, who left with just a little bit of left hamstring discomfort on Sunday. Two and two. Broken bat roller. One away here in the eighth. Pirates wrap up this series tomorrow night. Ryan Vogelsong will be on the hill. Jason Hamill starts for the Cubs. Pre-game gets underway at 7:30. Presented by WB Mason on Root Sports. There's Ryan Vogelsong. Cervelli takes ball one from Carl Edwards Jr.
.97 miles per hour. Francisco coming up empty.
Rookie has done a nice job with the Cubs. .111 batting average against. Second stint with the Cubs, and he has stuck since June 20th. A fly ball hit to center. The second out, and the Pirates are down to their last 4 outs, trailing by 3 as Matt Caesar makes that play. John Lackey, one of the veterans. We're talking about the mix of veterans and younger players. Lackey currently on the DL. Mercer takes a strike.
Lackey, another one. He's one of the top 6 we were talking about in opponent batting average.
Arrieta the best. Max Scherzer second on that list of pitchers with the lowest batting average against. Kyle Hendricks, tonight's starter. Madison Bumgarner, Lester, and Lackey.
So the 10th guy on the list is at 222. Hamill is at 227, so he's close to cracking the top 10 as well.
1.
Comes right at Jordy. Joyce hoping for an opportunity here.
Mercer 2 ground outs to short. Batter Edwards faces apparently, with Travis Wood, the lefty, getting ready for Joyce. And toward right center field, and Mercer will reach. He will head to second with a double. A 2-out, 2-base hit for Jordy Mercer.
It's a great at bat. Jordy, after that 3-1 pitch he swung through, he shortened it up, fought off a couple other fastballs, and gets one to his liking here. Stays on it, stays inside it. Slippage by Caesar out there, but Jordy still would have ended up at second base. That short, compact swing.
Oh, it is Chris Bosio, not the manager. So they're going to stay with the righty Edwards to face the pinch hitter Joyce, even though Travis Wood is ready. Remember last night we talked about how in 1 inning Bosio came out, paid Arrieta a visit in the same inning. Madden came out, and it should have been automatic. The baseball rules indicate that you've got to pull your pitcher at that point, but everybody missed it. Arrieta stayed in the game. Strike on Joyce. Oh boy, nobody liked that call, but it was a strike apparently.
Breaking ball, first pitch. They think it's up. UPMC's Sports Medicine Strike Zone has it at the top of the zone. Well, then maybe the griping gets him a call back. That pitch looked to be over the inside corner. Wow, and that one looked pretty good as well.
And now the Cubs are barking.
And that's right there. Joyce finally gets a fastball.
Here's that 7th inning, by the way. Bosio pays a visit early, and then Madden comes out, and again that should have been it for Arrieta. Arrieta was about ready to hand him the baseball. He knew. Well, then the 3rd time someone comes out, finally he has to hand him the baseball. So 3 visits. Three and 2. Joyce bats for Schugel. Jay Hay to follow. 2 outs, down 3. This is some serious business right here. chopper foul. Toward left center field, Caesar over, and with just enough room, the final out in the 8th.
By the authority of the Pittsburgh Pirates and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Tony Watson has that icy demeanor. See how the Pirates pitcher rose from the cornfields of Iowa, fought through personal loss, and forged a path celebrated by those back home on a special Inside Pirates Baseball. Tony Watson, Iceman, tonight after postgame on Root Sports. UPMC scoreboard 3-0. He would love to get another chance tonight. That would mean a big-time rally for the Pirates in the 9th. In the meantime, Jared Hughes will try and keep it a 3-run deficit. As Aroldis Chapman starts to crank it up. A.J. Schugel 2 scoreless. Chad Kuhl on the hook, gave up 3 in 5 innings on 4 hits.
50th appearance for Jared Hughes. 0-1 with a 3.56 ERA.
Cardinals and Brewers are tied at 1 in the 9th. Mets beat the Marlins 7-4. So if the Pirates fall to the Cubs, the Mets would be into a tie with the Pirates. Easy for McCutchen. Bryant is retired. Felix Pena, if the Cubs get another run or two, to take the save chance away. Here's Rizzo, 2-run homer. That is really all that the Cubs have needed so far, as Hendricks went 7 innings of 3 hit shutout ball. Carl Edwards, scoreless top of this 8th. Rizzo's home run, his 26th of the year. Came in the first inning.
Hughes at 94 coming at Rizzo. That comparison earlier about Braun and Prince Fielder. I'm trying to think if they've ever put up better numbers than these two. I mean, these two are already at over 60 homers. They're going to end up with over 200 RBIs, over 200 runs scored. They both may hit 300.
Very impressive duo. From the right side, Bryant. From the left side, his good buddy Rizzo. And Hughes able to get him. Cervelli makes the play on the strikeout, stays with it. Park University tweet on this photo of Francisco Cervelli to a Pirates fan. Spending a moment, the Bucco fan on hand here at Wrigley before the game. Now Jorge Soler on base twice. It's 2-0.
Interesting helmet.
That's, I guess, what the Cubs do with the big hits. Rub the helmet. By the way, in 2009, Prince Fielder hit .299, 46 homers, 141 runs batted in. Ryan Braun hit .320 with 32 homers and 114 runs batted in.
Ooh. Yeah, that'll be tough to top.
Yeah.
So
4-pitch walk.
78 home runs, 155 RBIs between, or 255 RBIs between. Both over 300.
299 for Fielder.
Combined, they'd be over 300.
After 2 outs, Soler walks and Hayward at the plate. Soler walking for a second time on base, a third straight time. John, by the way, just to go back on that note, a couple years later, 2011, Fielder hit .299. 38 homers, 120 ribbies. Braun 33 homers, 111. Hit .332. Bounced for the final out. Last shot for the Bucks. Down 3, the Pirates to these Chicago Cubs here in the 9th. So the old Cubs are back. Matt Caesar has moved from center to left. Dexter Fowler takes over in center field. And here is Aroldis Chapman trying to save it for Hendricks.
And ERA just at 176. Opponent average just at 172. Looking for his 31st save of the year.
He pitched last night. A scoreless 10th. Not face Josh Harrison last night. Did strike out Andrew McCutchen, walked Gregory Polanco, struck out Starling Marte, got David Freese to bounce out. Harrison has 3 out of 12 lifetime against Chapman.
Bryant plays him back at third, leading off here. You need base runners. This would be a scary man to try to bunt for a hit against.
Two and one. Traded over from the Yankees. Of course, the former Red. Five-player deal July 25th. And 20 saves with the Yankees. "44 straight saves against National League Central Division opponents dating back to August of 2013. With an ERA of 0.41 and 66 2/3 innings against the National League Central, 3 earned runs, and 127 strikeouts. 128 strikeouts.
Hard to imagine just to be able to night after night come in and throw a fastball 100+ miles per hour. 102. What a weapon. We used to talk about for years Mariano Rivera throwing a cutter that everybody in the world knew it was coming and you couldn't hit it. Pretty close to the same thing with Chapman.
How about Josh Bell's first look? Two on Bell.
It's almost like Chapman as Jeff Branson looks on.
Brantley was tough too.
Yeah, closer. Cincy, like Branson.
Cowboy. 0-2 on Bell. Just gets a piece. 103 miles an hour there. Again, this is all new to Josh Bell. Wrigley, all experience, just getting his first taste in the big leagues and involved in a playoff push in the major leagues and facing the hardest thrower in the game, Aroldis Chapman.
Yeah, we've seen Chapman at times, throw more sliders, even throw a changeup. Get a feeling like when he has more of a cushion, like tonight, and he doesn't bother messing around with anything else.
Snell 0 for 2 with a strikeout. And bounces it to the right side. 2 outs. Still with some hope, but it's going to take a near miracle at this point against this guy. Down 3, 2 outs. The Cuban missile.
He's taking his time.
Strike.
He's hard enough to hit on the plate, let alone off the plate.
Fly ball, and the Cubs win the first 2 games of the series. A 3-0 shutout. Rizzo's home run, all the Cubs would need in this one. All about Hendricks, Edwards, and Chapman blanking the Pirates on 4 hits. The Pirates have now lost 11 of 14 meetings this year against the Cubs. They're 1-7 at Wrigley on the season, and have lost 12 of the last 17 games played here in the Cubs' home ballpark.
And you have to wonder, I mean, are the Cubs fans believers now of Kyle Hendricks? Do they believe this guy? I mean, he's leading Major League Baseball in ERA, and you see him and you see the stuff and you think, well, he can't finish like he started, but he continues to go out there and pick his spots, change speeds, add some movement, and get out.
More to talk about. Back to the studio. It's Robin Teak.